It's me, Dave Glovin, on my 64th birthday. Because I can be here on my 64th birthday, but I can be here anytime I want, really. We're live on the Dave Glovin profile on Facebook, and we're live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/at Dave Glovin. That will bring you to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. If we're not live, you can look all over the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and see old Boogie with the Bulls, or you can see us when we're live. We're normally live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. But I was watching a video, and this lady was just getting irate that President Trump got the Nobel Peace Prize from the lady who is the interim head of Venezuela right now. And she was upset that it wasn't public, and she was upset that I guess he got it, and this and that. And you know what? Life is too short to be upset about that stuff, okay? It wasn't yours to give, so it didn't go to who you wanted to give, or she didn't keep it. It was hers, and she decided to give it to Donald Trump. So why let it bother you? Either way, really, it's that simple. If I had the Nobel Peace Prize and I gave it to Donald Trump, it's not your problem. If I have the Nobel Peace Prize and decide to give it to somebody else, it's not your problem. If I give it to you, it's your problem. Then you got to decide how you do it. And, if I give it to you, it's probably going to be live so everybody can see you get it. And if not, then it's not going to be live so everybody can see you get it, because it's really nobody's business. We have more important things to do than worry about stupid things like that. Just like I have more important things to do than worry about who's going to be on and who's not going to be on. I send everybody an invitation, and if they come on, they come on. I go through Facebook and I look for opportunities while I'm on Facebook to say, hey, I'm on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. We go live from the Boogie with the Bull channel, www.youtube.com/at Dave Glovin. And you either come join me or you don't. Or they laugh and don't come join me. Or maybe they laugh and come join me. I'd like to have Rosie O'Donnell on. I don't care that anybody else doesn't want to hear what she has to say. I'd like to have her on, and I'd like to talk about anything but politics, really. The fact that I like Donald Trump and she hates Donald Trump, I don't care. The fact that she can be a funny lady and I can be a funny guy, we can sit here and drink coffee and have fun and make people happy. The fact that she's got to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning so that it's 10 o'clock in the morning where I am, or she has to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and it's 10 o'clock where I am. I'm sorry, but shit happens. Cacoon's watching Boogie with the Bull 2.0, and she just wished me a happy birthday. Very, 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 very many thanks to you, Cat, and anyone else that wants to do it. I didn't do it to get you all to wish me a happy birthday, but great. I'm 64 years old, and I'm very happy that I made it to 64. And I just come on and try to tell it the way I see it. And sometimes the way I see it, Lisa Slowhand just joined. She said happy birthday too. I'm just happy that I can still do it. That I can pop up the laptop and come on at any time and wish you a happy birthday, or have somebody on and wish them a happy birthday. It's just, life is what you make it. You can be all withered up and cry about all this bull crap that people go through each day. Don't throw a snowball at a nice person. Don't throw a rock at a nice person. Don't drive your car into the middle of a nice operation and things won't happen. I mean, it's that easy. You can stand on the side of the road and hold up your signs or make signs or chant all you want, but you don't run the risk of hitting an ICE officer or making him think that he's going to get hit and he has to shoot you in order to stop it. If you don't want to get shot, don't do it. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Don't give people an opportunity to shoot you if you don't want to get shot. And the other side of it is even deeper than that. Dave Glovin logic says that if they sent you to be in this situation, they knew that it was likely that they were going to get shot. And they didn't want to get shot. So they sent you. Because you're expendable to them. If you get shot, they just send in somebody else. Why don't we get the thems that feel one way with those of us who feel a different way and break bread together and talk about what we agree with and what we don't and work on the things that we don't. And if we don't agree on anything, then let's work on enough so then we can work together on what we don't agree on. If you want to battle about Greenland and who owns Greenland and what happens with Greenland, then join the fight. Show Greenland and the King of Denmark who is best to be the ruler of Greenland or the head of Greenland. I don't want to see you spend your tax money on a 51st state that you really can't afford to have. I'd rather see you spend your money on improving your city council, your county council, if there is one, your state council, and maybe kicking in some money to the feds. I haven't decided what I mean by some money to the feds, because I don't. Mine isn't taxable by the feds, and it isn't taxable by the state. So, that's the way it should be. But, how they make money off of me for the fire department, I don't know. How they make money from me off the police department and the fire department, like I said, I don't know. But they do. It's that easy. Pay for the things that you want to pay for and don't pay for the rest. If you don't have anyone in school where you live, then why pay money to the school board anymore? Property taxes, yeah, we've been all over that. Why should you pay for a piece of property that you own every year to use it every year? And if you decided that you don't want to pay the taxes anymore, you can't just pick up the piece of property and move it. Or you can't set it up so that they can't fly over it and drop whatever they want to drop on it. They can't, you can't dig a hole and take whatever you want from what you dig up because you don't own it. Enough of this. Enough of this crazy talk. I wish you could just pick it up and drive it anywhere you wanted it to go. Unplug it and move on. And then when you get there, plug it in and be happy, if that's what you want. Life is too short. Cancun will be 64 in August. That's important to me. It's important to me. What I really want to know is every day when there's birthdays, and I guess I just have to look it up on Facebook and see everybody's birthday and how old they are. And just take the initiative because I don't get it from anybody else. Nobody else can do it for me. But, I just want to do it. And I love you guys too, Kat and Lisa. And I love everybody. People that are going through things that they just don't deserve to go through, I understand. Because I'm going through things that I don't deserve to go through. Maybe. The way I understand it is I got dementia and I got Parkinson's because I guess somehow I got dementia and I got Parkinson's. And the dementia moves slow, or maybe it moves fast, and the Parkinson's, if I don't take care of it, moves fast, but you keep it under control, it doesn't move fast. And you hope that maybe before it does move fast, that someone like Michael J. Fox and the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research will find a cure. But you feel bad because you can't send money to them to help. And I stopped feeling bad because I can't. But I can do something for you. I can sit here and talk about you and make a donation of my time and my broadcasts and hope that works. And even politically, I can do the same thing. I can talk about someone that's running for office if I want to talk about somebody that's running for office, and hope that they get elected, and keep doing that and do it everywhere so that people can see and vote for that person if I wanted to do that. But, don't send me money if you can't afford to send me money. Well, do something else if you can't afford to send money, because I'm sure they'd appreciate that. Even if it's picking up a damn broom and sweeping the floor, if you can. I've got a mind, and my mind, unfortunately, gets upset because I can't drive anymore. So I gave up my car, and one car is at work because Donna has to have a car, and there's no medical transportation, or there is, but I don't qualify, or this or that or whatever it is. I don't care. I wish I had the funding to put together a medical transportation company in the area that doesn't care about we have to make $500,000 and be profitable. I did that before. I did that before. I don't care anymore. It's getting people to where they need to go. It's like I've got a character in this game that he sees what needs to be done and he does something, and he just gets wealthier because he did what he needed to do. In the game, he had the opportunity to buy the Copilot Cloud from Microsoft. But it ended up that he needed to buy Microsoft in order to do it. So he did. 2-for-1 stock split. He made gazillions of millions of dollars, and he gave it away. Put it back into running what he bought. Because don't want anybody to worry about what he bought or whether or not it's going to make it. So he did it that way. And in doing that, he doubled. He went from $750 quadrillion to $1.5 quintillion. It's not about money. It's just looking at what needs to be done and doing it. You're a good man, Dave. I try to be. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I get out of bed and I don't know what's going on or don't feel like doing it, and I stay and I get back into bed. Sometimes I just stay in bed. But life is what you make it. You can sit in the corner and wait for time to go by and get back into bed if that's what you want to do, or you can just make it. You can pick up your phone and talk to people. You can go online and talk to people. You can just do things to make you happy. Play a game online if that's what you want to do, and then stop playing the game. Talk to the people that you run into every day. Go sit on your porch and say hello to everybody that walks by. Talk to your cat, who thinks I'm nuts anyway. Because when she wants attention, if I'm the only one home, she'll walk right into my computer. She'll just stand there. It means that she wants attention. And that's okay. I look at her food and water dish several times a day to make sure there's food or water in there. Or I look at the laundry basket. If it's full, I go do laundry. Hour and 17 minutes 58 minutes to wash it, and an hour and 17 minutes to dry it, just because I want to be sure it's dry and it's really warm if I need to put it on right away. But, do that. Or you go to the kitchen sink and you see that there's dishes and glasses and silverware in the sink. Run water and wash it. Easy. So that somebody else doesn't come home from their day and have to worry about every dish in the sink. It can be like my brother one day who went into the kitchen sink and threw everything away. And then I just happened to be coming home to wash. Life is too short. Buy paper bowls and silverware and throw it all away if that's the way you are. That's the way you need to be. Order from Domino's like I did for a long period of time and keep the boxes in order of how you ordered them. I don't know why I did that, but there was room on a shelf, so I did. Life is what you make it. You can either just sit here and hope somebody else changes it, or you can grab it by the horns and make sure you change it. If I want to give Donald Trump my Nobel Peace Prize, I'm going to give Donald Trump my Nobel Peace Prize. He's worth a lot of money. If he wanted to help me out, he'd help me out. But I don't want him to help me out just because he's got money and I don't. I do want some policies in this country like lower interest rates on plastic, realistic rates on plastic, and paying some off, which I'll probably never get again, and trying to preserve some that I have. But, you can't win. I mean, you get out of bed every morning and I still want a steering wheel and pedals for my laptop here, but I can't do it because I gotta be an adult and take care of what needs to be taken care of. But everybody else has that problem. They've got an adult and they can't do things either. It's what you make it. You do the best that you can. And, they don't throw us in prison anymore for not being able to pay the bill. Maybe they should. Or maybe they'll just work with you and you pay it how you can pay it. And then you don't get it anymore. That's the problem. You get one, and you go, okay, I'll try to apply for another one. Okay. Then I'll try to apply for another one. Okay. Then I'll try to apply for another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. And then eventually you do exactly what they wanted you to do. You hit the limit on all of them and you can't take care of it. You know? Or you matched the limit so they doubled it. And you went even further. You know? It's not that I don't want to pay it off. I can't do it all at one time. I wish I could. So does everybody else. Or this $2,000 from the tariffs we might get. We don't know when we're going to get. When it sits before me, I'll know I got it and I'll do something with it. And hopefully what I'll probably do is exactly what I need to do. Pay off as much as I can, but I'm going to buy that steering wheel and those pedals because that's what I want. So that when I've had enough of social media, I can turn the key and go for a drive. Because I like doing that. You know, unfortunately, with Parkinson's and Lewy body dementia, I can't just walk out the door and jump in a car and go for a ride. I wish I could. My brain thinks I could a lot, but I don't because I know I can't. But it doesn't mean that I don't want to plug everything in and look at the screen and think I'm in a car and be happy for a few minutes. You can if you want to be. You know, and I'm sure you'll figure out a way to do it if you want to do it. I'll figure out a way to do it if I want to do it. I really will. You know, but I like to bitch about that I can't do it because if I can't do it, you probably can't do it, or maybe I'm bitching because you can do it and I can't. Teach me what I'm doing wrong and I'll be able to do it. It's that simple. It's like Nancy Pelosi going from $174,000 net worth to 300, 400 million net worth. Teach the rest of us how to do it the right way. Give us all the same information you might have gotten and let us do it too. Or just don't do it. If you're getting the wrong information to be able to do it, just don't do it. You know, I worry every day, you know, why do we pay taxes and pay these people $174,000 plus different bonuses for different things that they do? They work less than we do. So why do they need $174,000 a year? I mean, I don't work anymore. I sit behind my desk. I do what needs to be done. And I do it for a lot less. Or, you know, when like I said yesterday, turn on the computer and look and, you know, they want to pay people at McDonald's $25 an hour. Well, they want to pay people $25 an hour because they want $12.50 an hour in taxes from that person to fund a bunch of things that we either need or don't need. If it was through USAID, a lot of it got scrapped, and then USAID got closed. You know, what's her name? Elizabeth Warren brought us the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. The hell did they protect? Who took the money, shut it down, and gave it to somebody else? The responsibility to someone else. The Fed, the hell did they do? That's why Jerome Powell lost his job, or is going to lose his job, or maybe lose his job. I don't know. If you spent $1 billion to rehab the building that you're in, you deserve to lose your job. I mean, I could be the chair of the Fed sitting at this desk right now and make all the decisions that I need to make. Did you pay me back the money that we needed to pay me back on something? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. You don't owe me that money anymore. We got to do something to create inflation to make you think that you're able to pay us back or pay us back or do whatever they do. That's okay. Or explain to us that the Fed wasn't created to keep us in debt forever. Explain what you do. And let us decide if we need that. Yes or no? I don't want to take your job away from you. I don't want to play Doge. I don't want to go in there and look at whether or not you stay or this agency stays or people keep their jobs. Yeah, they need their jobs. Period. They may need to retool how they do their job. They may need less people to do their job. Instead of having 5 different organizations throughout the government that do the same thing, maybe we only need 2. They do it for everybody. They don't just do it for themselves, they do it for everybody. Or, I'm starting to think that's the problem. We created this thing called government, and at some point it just took over, and we let it take over. Maybe that's okay. Maybe it's not okay. Because we were kept getting told, we the people, for the people, by the people. At the same time, we let people take over for people. Again, $174,000 a year to sit in a chair and vote the way you feel, the way you were paid to vote, and this and that and other crap. That, our money to pay you is no good, but when a company comes in and wants to give you millions of dollars to vote their way, it's okay. Even if it's against the way the people that sent you there to vote. Doesn't work that way. I don't want to give you $174,000 when you're getting $17 million from somebody else to do things their way. Because you obviously don't need my $174,000 a year anymore. Because you're not representing me. You're doing it to represent yourself, to build yourself up, to get the organization step that you want. Term limits. We can't ask people who have done the job for 50 years, 40, 50 years, to decide that they can't do it anymore. You can't do it because human nature is, I'm in there, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to leave when I want to leave. I'm going to, they're going to roll me out because I'm dead. Being a congressman or woman is not a lifetime job. It's not. I mean, maybe you think it is, but it's not. And it shouldn't be 12 years in one house and then 12 years in the Senate. And then hopefully 8 years as vice president and 8 years as president. No. And if you're running for an office, you give up the office that you got. Why? Because you're not doing the job anyway. Mitt Romney was governor of Massachusetts and spent so much time out of Massachusetts that when he came back to Massachusetts, it looked like he was changing things to the way he would have done it if he was there to do it. Because he had to spend so much time in the 49 other states trying to be what they wanted, as well as being what we needed him to be. No. If you got to go spend time in those 49 other states, then you need to stop spending time in Massachusetts. And if you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. That's just the way it needs to be. You lost your job because you're not there to do the job. Or you won and you're not there to do the job anyway because you're now someplace else. Vice president, president, and you got too much going on in your head to do it. Term limits are very much needed. Yes, they are, Kat. They are very much needed. Are we going to get them? Probably not, unless we figure out a way to make them have term limits and make them restore them. And some don't care, I honestly want to think that Nancy Pelosi is done and will retire at the end of this term and will be gone because she's worth $300-400 million. So she can go do what she wants to do wherever she wants to do it. That's great. But the problem is with that equation is that if the Democrats take over in 2026, a Democrat takes over in 2028, and the Democrats control the House and Senate in 2028, Nancy, or in 2030, Nancy's not leaving. I'm only here because my job is to elect Hakeem Jeffries, the Speaker of the House. BS. If the opportunity comes up for you to be Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries is not going to be the Speaker of the House. You'll fight your own people to make sure that you are the Speaker of the House again. Why? Because you're not going to give up that lifestyle and everything that came with it. Everything that got you to that point. You're not going to give it up. And I don't want to go toe for toe with the Clintons, but if you get a subpoena from the House Oversight Committee, then you go and testify at the House Oversight Committee. And it should be public, that the entire public can see it and watch it and understand it. It shouldn't be closed door because we don't want you to watch it. We don't want you to see the questions that they're going to get asked. We don't want you to see the information that they're going to answer. Bullcrap. You don't want us to see it, then you shouldn't be asking it. Because in one side, the belief is they're going to go lock themselves in a room for 2 hours and they're going to, or 4 hours, and they're going to decide where they're going to go and have dinner that night. Not, did you do something wrong? They're just, because they're all guilty, or possibly are all guilty of doing something wrong on both sides. So it's just them fighting them. Remove everybody. 73% I heard of the House, I think, was going to lose their job because they've already hit the term limits. Or they would hit term limits and would not be able to run it anymore. Well, maybe we change the rules to if you have served more than 12 years in the House or the Senate, it's time to give someone else a turn. And maybe we have to stand up and make that happen. Nancy, I'm sorry, but you served 40 years and we only want you to serve 12. Well, that's what it should be. Chuck Schumer, you've served 30, 40 years. You're only supposed to serve 12. Bye-bye. It really is that simple. I can hear my father say, "Don't sweat the simple stuff." Well, sweating it because nobody seems to know what we're doing. You know, people want to pick up a rock or a snowball and throw it at a nice person and get away with it. People want to jump into a nice car or a federal government car and pull the gun safe out and try to figure out how to open it so they can get their hands on a gun. What the hell are you going to do with it once you get it? They didn't get arrested. They were there long enough trying to break into this thing that they all should have got arrested or detained somewhere until they figured out what was going on, why they were trying to break the thing open, and what they planned to do with it. I mean, if that's the case, nobody should have guns. You know? They got to walk around with guns to protect themselves from people who have guns. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know anymore. I'm 64, and it's not going to change for probably another 64 years, which is 128 years old. And at 128, I'm not going to much care about it anymore, as long as they leave me alone and let me do what I got to do for me and my family. But if I got to worry about you throwing a rock or a snowball at me, you know, the gun may or may not do me any good. The gun may or may not do me. The gun may or may not do me any good anyway, because of my disabilities. The gun may or may not do me any good. I don't want to shoot you, and you may not want to actually shoot me. Like I told you earlier, that recurring dream every once in a while, me and the Russians standing there on the battlefield looking at each other going, "Do you really want to shoot me?" And them said to me, "Do you really want to shoot me?" No, I don't. I just want to sit and break bread with you and try to figure it out. What do we agree with? Put that on the table one day. Write it all up, sign it, and put it on the wall. That's what we agreed to do. Then the next day, what don't we agree on? Put that on a list and slap it on the wall. And the next day, we got to start working on that. Who has the best guns? Who has the best planes? Who has the best this? Who has the best that? Nobody can, because whoever invents the best sells a discounted version of the best so that they still have the best and nobody else does. What's the point? At some point, I felt they're going to get war down to someone sitting in front of a computer, taking on somebody else sitting in front of their computer in another country and battling it against themselves, or changing shifts and the next people come in and battle each other. And that's just how it's going to go. There's more to life than living that way. Why can't we all live together? Why can't we break bread and agree to what we agree to and disagree on the rest? And if you need oil or you buy oil from somebody, well then, hey, if we're helping somebody and they want to sell you oil, then hey, great, we sell you oil. But everybody says they got 500 years of oil sitting in the ground. We've got 500 years of oil sitting in the ground. So why do we have to sell them oil? Or why do we have to buy oil from them? Oh, well, I guess we have to balance it out so that everybody sells to everybody. And that way it all works. Maybe it's not supposed to work that way. If you got 500 years of oil in the ground, then for 500 years, you should be okay. Because at the end of the 500 years, you made 500 years more worth of oil. The Raving Madman this afternoon. So, everybody, I hope you got something out of the ravings of a madman on his 64th birthday. Just kind of seeing it as it really looks like. Robin Brunson, you're actually off of work for a day. Fantastic. Fantastic. Robin comes on when she can from her lunch hour, if we're on, and we'll watch during her lunch hour. Robin's a good person. She really is. She will send you some of the best coffee you've ever had, a taste of it, and I don't even care anymore. If she gets something out of it, then I hope she's getting something out of it. But Robin's a good person. She's there and she watches every day. Thank you, Robin. Thank you for the birthday greeting. Flash that on the screen so everybody can see it. But thank you for that. I kind of woke up weird this morning that I really didn't want everybody to go out of their way and make a big fuss like they do on everybody's birthdays. That, it's just a day that I popped out of my mother. It actually wasn't a good day anyway. There's a lot of stuff I could tell you of what went on that it wasn't enjoyable. So, but I'm still here 64 years later, and I try to do what I need to do, and some days I do, and some days I don't. Today I did. I took my morning dose. I take my afternoon dose at 5, and my other dose at 8 o'clock. And if I'm lucky, I'll be sleeping around 10 o'clock because I got to get up tomorrow with Donna and go do a craft show, which I really like doing anyway. And I have a good time when I'm there anyway. Even if I don't talk politics with everybody, or even if I do talk politics with everybody, I have a good time when I'm there. So if you're on Park Drive, Park Road, Park Street, I think it's Park Street. I don't know. But if you're on Park Street, which I think it is, or Park Ave, I know it's not Park Drive, but if you're on Park Avenue or Park Street, near Cultivate, the bookstore coffee place, there will be a craft show and render fair all in front of stores on that side of the street. And you can find just about everything you can think of. And you see people like Donna and my daughter-in-law who make stuff out of crochet, and you'll be amazed. And if you're looking for something, you'll see it there. And if you don't see it there, they'll take a special order from you and make it for you. And they do good stuff. They really do. I'll show you really fast. Cupcake the eagle, because I asked Donna for an eagle one day, so she made an eagle. Actually, she made 2 of them. It was Cupcake the eagle, and his partner, which I didn't name, but we sold the partner because we sold the partner. So the eagles I know were $8 a pair, or excuse me, $8 each, $16 for the pair. But you'll see all kinds of stuff, and if you don't, ask. And a custom order can be created, and it goes from there. Really, you want to make everybody happy, and you should be happy. And some of the stuff is so beautiful that you'll never let it go. You wake up in the morning and you carry it throughout the day, and then you will carry it back to bed and be happy. Or you just buy it to put it with you in bed to make yourself happy, because you should be happy. Life is too much not being happy. And again, you decide really whether or not you're happy. You decide what you need to do and whether or not you're going to do it or can do it. You decide that too. And if you're unhappy, then you can do it. We are the greatest country in the world. That's why everybody wants to be here. You know, unfortunately, in Minnesota, something happened, and I don't know exactly, but something happened, and I guess good people went to bad people, and or came here to be bad people, and I don't know. You know. Anyway, whatever happened, and you got ripped off out of your tax dollars. And the same thing happened in New York, and you got ripped off out of your Medicare dollars, and I don't know who's to blame for it, but all I know is that something like $2.4 million in New York, two $1.2 billion things happened in New York. And the city of New York, I guess, where the largest amount of it happened, isn't responsible, I guess. It's just the people who did it. You know, and the state, I guess, is the one that's handling it. Now, if you want $2.4 billion in taxes and you can't handle $2.4 billion in payments to Medicare that shouldn't have been payments to Medicare, that you got a problem and you got to figure it out. Because you either want $2.4 billion, which you can just put in people's pockets and make them happy, or you want $2.4 billion that will make everybody happy because everybody got what they needed, not just people putting it in their pockets. You know, I'm not going to get involved in whether the Somalis were right in Minnesota or not. They did something wrong, so I guess they did something wrong. Whether they're allowed to stay or whether they're sent back to Somalia, I don't know. I really don't. But when the state doesn't want help and it's just going to keep going on, then something's wrong there. So, you know, whether or not I believe that Tim Walz as governor was just stupid or complacent or allowed it to happen or got money for letting it happen, I don't know. But I do know that that's not the way it's supposed to be. Come here, rip us off, and stay here. No, it's not the way it's supposed to be. Come here and rip us off and send money back somewhere, and you get to help people take care of themselves somewhere else off the money you got here. No, you should be in one of our jails. I'm sorry. You know, if you break the law, you deserve to be in jail here. And then after You served your time in jail, decide whether or not you want to be here or not. Otherwise, don't break the law. You couldn't do it in any other country in the world, and if it's our fault that you broke the law, then we need to change things to make sure that you don't break the law again. Whether it's vetting people when they come in here or want to come in here, that's just the way it's going to be. Weed out the bad people, that's the way it's going to be. Finish the fence, the wall here in this country, yeah, because everybody else has a wall around them to protect themselves from exactly what is happening. So everybody's going to come here. Change us to be where they left? I got a difficult question. Why do we need to become what you were, where you were? Because if it's so good, you wouldn't have left where you were. So maybe you need to change where you were so you can go back there if that's the problem. And the only other thing I'm going to say is if you got a visa a bunch of years ago, you know when it's going to expire. You know that when you get it. So you would be talking to whoever before it's going to expire if you don't want to go back. You'd be talking to them anyway if it was going to expire because you might get a free ride back to where you want to go. Or you might find out, hey, you're doing everything right. So you deserve the opportunity to keep staying here. Or whoever, no, you're doing everything wrong. So you need to be removed if you can't stop doing what you're doing. It's that simple. Okay? It really is. Anyway, I'm coming up on my 1 hour limit for my broadcast, but I'm really coming up on more than I had to say. I really wanted to just come on and say, hey, if you don't like that somebody gave Donald Trump a Nobel Peace Prize that they had, don't like it. But it was that person's decision to give it to him. It's that simple. If you want to come on every morning and have a podcast that's, I've had it with this, I've had it with that, that's great. But you can't change what you had it with, so why bother? Come on and tell people something good. Like, go outside. It's probably cold. It's 52 degrees in Florida. It's sunny where we are. So it might feel good, but 52 degrees is kind of cold. So, but put a jacket on, put a sweater on, go outside and have a good time outside. And then come inside and sit at your computer, or go outside and sit at your computer if that's what you want to do. Take time every day to do what you got to do. If you got Parkinson's like I do, get up, go do the exercises at home. And then go to your session, work out, do everything you need to do there, and then turn around and come home. You got a problem moving your mouth and trying to get it to put out certain words, then go do that workshop too. Or 1 week a month, you might end up doing that workshop. But when you're home the rest of the time, work on moving your mouth so that it starts moving the right way. And you get the words out, or your hands. If you're trying to type something and people are coming back and telling you, hey, I don't understand what you're trying to say. I thought the solution was, if you don't understand what my fingers are trying to tell you, then maybe I have to come and be a guest and tell you what I'm trying to say. because it's easier to tell you what I'm trying to say sometimes than it is to type what I'm trying to say. But that's BS. They're both screwed up sometimes. So, like I said, learn how to make this work again the way it's supposed to work, and do the exercises to make this work the way it's supposed to work, and you'll be happy. You really will. This, I don't know if this ever comes back. I don't know. Only because I haven't totally lost it yet. But this, yeah, there's a lot of exercises and stuff they give you to do to make this work better, or hopefully bounce back. Some are ways that will hopefully eliminate where you have the problems up here. You know? But you can make this work again. It may be hard work, but you can make it work right. You can make this work right. You can move your legs. There's all kinds of apparatuses to help you make it move, make your legs move. Or maybe you can't make them move and you have to use something that gets you around. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. But life is what you make it. If you want to have a hard, rough life, you'll have a hard, rough life. If you don't want to have a hard, rough life, you won't. Because you'll make sure you don't have a hard, rough life. Or you'll hear me tell you, EJ, you don't have to have a hard, rough life. And you'll then maybe one day believe it and then try it for yourself. If you figure out that you don't have to have a hard, rough life, come to me. Because I seem to be stuck in the fact that I do have to have one. And I really don't. I really don't. I worked for a long time. I earned my disability. I don't like the way the country does SSDI. I don't think it was supposed to be long-term disability. I think it was supposed to be so that you had money coming in while you were out until you came back, and then SSDI went away. Save for another day, or Social Security when you retire, if and when you get to retire. Because we keep changing when you can retire. You can take early retirement and get so much of your money, or you can take later retirement and get all your money. I can't just get it all when you retire. 65 to retire should still be 65 to retire. Because if we did it right, we had enough babies that grew up and went to work and can take the job that you have. And you can then go off and either work more if that's what you want to do, or you can enjoy life not working. But, I don't know. Anyway, I'm Dave Globin. You're not. We're at 1 hour, so I'm going to let this one go. Boogie with the Bull 2.0 will probably be the last one for Friday. The American Rebellion is on tonight at 7 p.m. on the American Rebellion blogger page and a whole bunch of other places, but I watch it on the American Rebellion blogger page. That's where I'll tell you to go. My mother just called, so I'm going to let you go. We'll do it later. Thank you. Bye.